Globally, every minute a man dies by suicide. In just the United Kingdom alone, men make up 75% of suicides. On average, 1 in 8 men will suffer from a common mental health disorder. Just over 3 out of 4 suicides are done by men. And suicide is still the biggest killer for men under 45. There's always been a stigma that men shouldn't have mental health issues, especially when it comes to sharing them with others. It's 2019 and our society still has the built-up stigma that men should be macho and the stronger sex, when everybody knows that mental health issues such as depression and anxiety don't get any easier or harder for people dependent on being male or female. So why do men stay silent? Suicide rates have been consistently lower in females than in males over the past 3 decades. Some of these statistics gathered from a conducted survey for the Men's Health Forum in 2016 suggest some of the reasons to why the silence has not yet been broken. Out of 1,112 employed men, 34% would be embarrassed or ashamed to take time off work for mental health concerns such as anxiety or depression. And amongst only the men with mental health challenges, a massive 46% would be embarrassed or ashamed. Other than these reasons, a conducted survey by YouGov for the Mental Health Foundation in 2016 suggests other reasoning around the issues regarding stigma attached to men's mental health. 28% of men had not sought medical help for the last mental health problem they had experienced. And over a third of men waited more than 2 years or have never disclosed a mental health problem to a friend or family member. So where is all the stigma coming from? Some of the reasons that suggest why the silence hasn't yet been fully broken are such things as the media making stereotypical guidelines for how men should act and be perceived. Things such as strong and silent is attractive, being the macho man and handling every problem alone makes a real man. The idea of manning up and showing no weakness is just a small part of why men feel the need to self-deal with their issues and speak of them to nobody. Alpha masculinity takes a big toll in today's media, with actors such as Robert De Niro and Sylvester Stallone showing no fear on the screen, when everybody ignores the reality that behind the big screen, even these macho men have their own issues. From 2011 to 2015, mental health budgets were cut by 8.25% in England, and 38% of people said they'd been treated negatively as a result of stigma. This suggested that the government cutting costs around mental health meant there were a lot less awareness and care around these issues, and during this period, stigma shot through the roof.
My name's Andy Brown. I'm a mental health nurse by background, and my feelings on the stigma of men's mental health and the silence and why men don't talk about it very much is I think that's probably linked a lot to sort of society and cultural views around men being quite macho and being able to deal with things and being strong. And I think the problem is that we all really need to talk about things from time to time, and I think the way to deal with men's sort of issues with not talking about their mental health is just to encourage and make it more normalise talking. It doesn't have to be about deep and meaningful things. It can be about just talking about day-to-day stuff and just encouraging that kind of human interaction, kind of just not keeping things bottled up.
So what's changing? In more recent times, the tide is finally turning for men and their mental health. With Prince William and Prince Harry opening up about their own personal mental health issues, it had given the men of the nation more courage to speak up about their own experience with mental health. This as a whole encourages other men all over the globe to speak up. As well as this, the budgets around mental health increasing again, and more awareness through campaigns and charities such as Samaritans, and even more male-specific ones such as Movember, have been bringing these issues to light, and instead of making them seem taboo, our society has begun to teach men around the world that these issues are normal and can be dealt with by speaking up. The percentage of people being aware of close male friends or family members dealing with mental health issues is rising and has risen a vast amount over the past few years. This could be a huge turning point for men's mental health and making the stigma disappear, meaning that more mental health issues can be dealt with in professional ways, which would decrease suicide rates in men, making men around the world more happier. More charities and campaigns are constantly gaining awareness around these issues and are growing, helping men all around the globe believe that the issues should be spoken about. Nothing hidden can be fixed. To be a man of less issues, you have to be a man of more words.